You're listening to the NFL Draft Bible Podcast Network, part of Sports Illustrated, giving you daily NFL Draft, Dynasty, and Devy Fantasy Football podcasts.
Class is in session. Welcome into the NFL Draft Bible Podcast Network's Draft Seminar. I'm your host, Matt Hicks, the FF Educator, joined as always by my co-host, John Lobb, the Gridiron Scholar. John, today we're talking about Michael Carter from the University of North Carolina.
Matt, when I watch Michael Carter and Javonte Williams over the last 2 months, it harkens back to some of the great backfields in college football history. I think of the first one I remember as a young man at SMU, Eric Dickerson and Craig James. What a combo they were for the Mustangs. And then at the turn of the century when Auburn had Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams. I mean, that's what we have been able to watch over the past year at North Carolina with Javonte Williams and Michael Carter. And I'll say one thing. I think the national media missed the boat on this dynamic duo in the backfield, because SMU was all over the national media back in the late 70s, early 80s. Auburn's backfield, they were talked about all the time. And realistically, we had very little conversation about how dynamic these two players were. And Michael Carter was the electricity in this thunder and lightning backfield for the Tar Heels. In high school, he was the USA Today Florida Offensive Player of the Year, and he was named 6A Mr. Football. Matt, I couldn't believe when I looked at this. As a senior, he rushed for 2,536 yards and scored 45 touchdowns. Like, what was he playing with? Junior, middle school kids? I mean, he dominated at the high school level. And then he comes onto campus in 2017. As a true freshman, he led the team with 8 rushing touchdowns. In 2019, fast forward a little bit, his junior season, he was third team All-ACC and honorable mention All-ACC all-purpose. But last year, he exploded on the national scene. First team All-America, AP third team All-America, Doak Walker and Paul Hornung Award watch list. The last time we saw him on the field, Matt, oh my God, he made the Miami Hurricanes look like a junior varsity team. He had 308 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns against Miami. He logged back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for the Tar Heels. He had 1,245 last year and 1,003 in 2019. He's an all-purpose specialist. In ACC, he finished second in 2020 with 1,668 yards. And in 2019, he finished fourth with 1,623 yards. Matt, Michael Carter has the potential to be a star in the NFL. What does your film breakdown say?
Absolutely. So when talking about Michael Carter's film, I have him as a fantasy football projection to be a flex filler, and that's not a bad projection. That means you're probably going to be hanging around the running back 30 to 40 territory, which is a good position to be in. You need these guys on your roster. It starts here with the contact balance, John. He has a small frame, but he uses that low center of gravity well. He's not afraid to power through the tackles. He will break tackles really consistently. Flip on the South Carolina tape, flip on the Clemson tape. You're going to see great contact balance. He'll move the pile even despite his size, so he's got great strength. Oftentimes it takes 3 or 4 guys to bring down Michael Carter, so you have to love that. In terms of translation to the NFL, pass blocking, not always the flashiest thing for fantasy football players, but Michael Carter's reliable in pass protection, and that's going to help him quickly get and stay on the field on an NFL roster. He picks up blitzes well, and he has a good anchor. I really like that. Now, athleticism, I give him an 80 there as well. He has a nice jump step. He has smooth lateral cuts. He has some nasty jukes. Flip on the Miami tape. You'll see him absolutely breaking guys. Now, he's a bouncy, fluid runner. You love to see that. And I think he has solid vision as well. I give him a 79 there. Now, it's not always consistently there, but at times he will really see those gaps open up. He's able to navigate around the field and understand at times when he should be bouncing to the outside. So there's a lot to like about Michael Carter when it comes to his game, but I could talk about it all I want, John. Let's actually go ahead and flip on this tape and break it down.
Oh, let's share some of this incredible athleticism with the viewers.
All right, absolutely. So we start here against Miami, and you see right away that jump cut ability. He's absolutely breaking guys, and he finishes with this wide open touchdown.
Oh, yeah. And his vision at the second level. Look at this. He jukes that guy, like, just unbelievable.
I mean,
like,
he absolutely embarrasses him.
He does. And once he gets that second level, his vision and his lateral cuts are great, Matt.
And he's somebody, John, you could see even when he does get caught up to and brought down, he's always falling forward. He's always getting these extra few yards out of the play, and I love seeing that from my running backs.
Oh, look at that. He just beats everyone to the corner and gets this extra yards.
Absolutely. So you could definitely see, he looks undersized on the field, but he's quick, he's bouncy, he's fluid. And against Miami here, he's looking really impressive.
Oh, look at that. Inside running, power, vision, got the small hole. Here we go.
There's the quick feet there, the change of direction ability against Virginia Tech. So there's a lot that Michael Carter brings to the field. And then out of the backfield here, we're going to see some hands and some quick acceleration.
Absolutely. I bet you we see another pass catch up a run here. But he's a very good pass catcher, Matt. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, he doesn't go off tackle a whole ton, but when he does, John, he looks really good. So the film looks good. We see a guy that can produce at the next level. What do the stats look like in terms of what you're looking for your NFL draft prospects?
The only first, I think everyone's going to notice the big red flag when I pump him into my model is he's 5'8", 199 pounds. Look, he's close enough to 200. And he does have a lot of strength and power to his game because he's putting all of that weight on a 5'8" body, right? So you got this compact, strong body. But he's not as big and physical as his teammate, Javonte Williams. But 195, maybe he can get up to 204 playing weight at the NFL. But everything else in my model I like. 3,404 yards rushing. Yards from scrimmage, 4,060. We talked about him being a dual threat. Look at that, Matt. 6.6 yards per carry. That's really, really impressive. And my friends, North Carolina finally got it together under Mac Brown this year. Most of the time, North Carolina hasn't been that good of a football team. So these numbers are even more impressive because they just made a dramatic improvement under Mac Brown this last year. 82 career receptions. He is a very dynamic pass catcher. Immediately has a job in the NFL as a third down back. 28 touchdowns, my friends. Pass catching, running. He can score from all over the field. What's amazing, he shared this backfield with Javonte Williams. Matt, scrimmage yards dominator, 25%. And his total yards from scrimmage, 1,512. Hey, he's clearly the lightning in the North Carolina backfield over the last two crusades. We saw it. Makes defenders miss in space with lateral agility and ankle-breaking cuts. In the open field, he has great second-level vision. He kind of has that spidey sense. He sees players from his peripheral, and he breaks them down, and he gains extra yardage. Michael Carter is going to be a third-round pick with fantasy upside. Like him a lot, Matt.
Absolutely. Well, there's a whole lot to like. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe. Get all of our episodes, whether you're listening on your favorite podcast provider or you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And as always, we appreciate you listening. Go ahead and put